For the United States men's Olympic basketball team, it is their second exhibition game as they prepare for Rio just under 2 weeks away. We are at Staples Center in Los Angeles on a blistering hot 85-degree day in Southern California. You are watching U.S. basketball presented by Nike. It's the U.S. men's team against China, a team the United States will face in its opening game in Brazil on August the 6th. Hi, everybody. Marv Albert, along with Reggie Miller, one-time gold medalist in the Olympic Games, five-time All-Star. Will be joined in a moment by Jared Greenberg, who is working the sideline. And in their opening exhibition game on Friday night in Las Vegas, a solid performance by the U.S., a 37-point victory over Argentina, and the United States sparked by Kevin Durant with 23 points in 21 minutes.
Yeah, when you think of this team USA, it's not the most talented team Coach K has had over the years, but the word that comes to mind, versatility. Obviously led by Kevin Durant, Carmelo Anthony, Paul George. They have 9 players ranging from 6'3" to 6'9". All of them play bigger than their size. We'll see a lot of switching, especially at the defensive end.
All right, Reg, I know you spent hours putting your keys together. Let's take a look at our keys to success, presented by Chief.
Well, to me, we talk about that versatility. It starts at the defensive end. Create offense from your defense and experience. 10 of the 12 players, first-time Olympians. No Kobe, no LeBron, no CP3 to lean on, and rebounding. DeAndre Jordan, Boogie Cousins, they have to be monsters on the offensive glass.
All right here, let's check in with Jared Greenberg.
Well, Marv, the senior member of this USA team, Carmelo Anthony, is on the verge of history. He's the oldest guy on the squad. But with so many stars electing to sit out the Olympics in 2016, Melo needed a little nudging from his college coach. Melo said it was motivating and exciting to hear from Jim Boeheim those encouraging words. Melo could become the very first USA basketball player to win 3 gold medals. Now, Coach K told us before the game that while Melo's always been an outstanding basketball player, for this team he's an outstanding leader, and that's not limited to on the court. Tomorrow here in L.A., Melo has organized a forum to discuss social issues in America. Practice for Team USA has been canceled. The entire roster and coaching staff will join Melo, along with several L.A. community leaders, Marv.
All right, thank you, Jared. Right here, we'll take a look at the Gatorade starting lineups, and Mike Krzyzewski shuffling the lineup as he would do throughout the pre-Olympic exhibition schedule. Carmelo Anthony, DeMar DeRozan gets a start, along with the LA Clippers' DeAndre Jordan. Paul George will play the shooting guard, and Kyle Lowry is the point guard. And Team China will go with E, and the NBA fans are familiar with E. Jianlian, who was the overall number 6 pick in the NBA draft by Milwaukee. Spent 5 seasons in the league with 4 different teams. Zhou Kung is the other forward. Wan Zheling, a 7-footer, is the center. And in the backcourt, Ding Young Yu Hong and Guo Ailuan. And Guo is the point guard. The officiating crew, Jose Carrion, who works NCAA and FIBA. Anthony Jordan, who is a former NBA official, now works in NCAA competition. And from the NBA, Marat Kogut. I mentioned the game Friday night and the win over Argentina. The U.S. shooting 45%, 34 from 3. Mike Krzyzewski telling us earlier that they allowed too many three-pointers by Argentina, although Argentina did not have much success shooting the 3.
And it needs to be noted, too, Team USA, they're not 100% in shape. Coach K telling us the guys came, a couple of these guys had long regular seasons, so they're still trying to round into shape. He put the number at 80%. A lot of the practices have been canceled. We just heard Jared Greenberg mentioning tomorrow's practice being canceled because of Carmelo Anthony and the social responsibility that he has going on. So he's going to try to get this team in shape during these exhibition games. And don't be surprised after free throws. A lot of picking up full, a lot of trapping. Guys are going to play extended minutes to try to round themselves into shape before Rio.
Mike Krzyzewski, during the course of his Hall of Fame career, leading Duke to 5 NCAA titles, 12 Final Fours, got 2 Olympic gold medal teams. There are several rule differences in FIBA for Olympic play as opposed to the NBA. It's a 40-minute game. The three-point distance throughout is shorter, which includes the quarters. 5 fouls instead of 6. It is a shorter game, so that is the foul limit. And technicals, Reg, are considered as personal fouls. Team fouls are the same, 5, and you're over the limit.
I would have been in a lot of trouble. We've been playing as the great David Robinson, a fantastic Olympian himself, coming by our table here. Yes. And I can't stress enough, having the opportunity to play for Team USA in 1996 and represent our country in the Olympics. Your Coach K was, telling us before that to instill in these guys, they can see it, they can feel it, but to bring in, service members to kind of address what representing those 3 letters across your chest means. It was such a joy just to be part of something bigger than the Indiana Pacers.
And Mike Krzyzewski joined on the bench by Jim Boeheim, Hall of Famer from Syracuse University. Tom Thibodeau, now the head coach and president of basketball operations for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Monty Williams, one-time head coach of the New Orleans Pelicans. Greg Popovich handling the select team. He will take over as head coach of the 2020 U.S. Olympic team. So E for China on the opening tip against Jordan, and it's controlled by Team China. This is Guo playing the point. E guarded by Anthony. And it's knocked away from Yang Huang. Jordan looking for the block, and he gets it. DeRozan mishandled, got it back.
And that's what we talked about at the start of the show, the keys for Team USA. Creating offense from your defense. DeAndre Jordan with the block shot at one end. And how about your 7-footer being able to run the floor and finish?
And the early chant for USA. E had it slapped away, knocked out of bounds by Lowry. You saw Lowry apply the pressure in the backcourt as China moved to the front court.
Not only that, we talked about the versatility of this team. The switching in the pick and roll. There's a lot of like-sized guys for Team USA, and if you're Coach K, that's one of the things that are going to be a plus for you in Rio is being able to switch those pick and rolls.
Wang Jiling too strong on that shot, and a traveling violation is called. Wang Jiling, who wears number 31, a second-round pick of the Memphis Grizzlies, deciding whether to stay in China or try to make it to the NBA. He's been sent back by injuries. There is Wang.
The pressure here by Team USA, really forcing Team China into very difficult shots. Another block shot.
Guo was stopped, and the shot missed by Wang. George putting a move on E.
And for those of you who are just tuning in and you're saying no Kevin Durant, no Kyrie Irving in the starting lineup, this is the second exhibition game, and the reason why Paul George and DeMar DeRozan starting, they're both from the LA area, along with DeAndre Jordan, obviously, who plays for the Clippers. So these exhibition games, there is no set starting lineup. We asked him that if he's going to have one for Rio. But right now, these guys, nice move there by DeAndre, trying to get different looks and different lineups and try to build that camaraderie on this team.
But Coach K did tell us that you try to get down to a rotation of 9 or 10. No, nice bank shot. You can hear the Chinese contingent that is on hand, greeting that shot by Ding Yang Yuhan, who's a pretty good shooter, we're told. There's Lowry, hit on a reach-in by Guo. Iowa won. In his second Olympics, made the team in 2012 in London.
Okay, now don't shoot the messenger here, but they are calling Guo They dub him the Chinese Tony Parker. Now, I'm not the one who said that, because Tony Parker accomplished, obviously, French player championships with the San Antonio Spurs.
That is a generous assessment.
Hey, I said don't shoot the messenger. I'm going by what the note said.
I'm pointing out to who the informer might have been.
Oh, nice defensive effort there by Paul George coming up with the steal.
And then he tried to get it back.
Look how long Team USA is on the wings. With Paul George, an all-defensive player, DeMar DeRozan, Carmelo Anthony, really not known for his defense, but in this setting, a pretty good team defender. And you're coming off the bench with Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler.
He was hit with a foul call on that reach around. Anthony is off. There's Carmelo wide open for three. Jordan on the follow.
But already you see Team USA back-to-back offensive rebound.
Oh, nice move by Grove, but couldn't finish.
That's Tony Parker-esque right there. So now do you understand why they dubbed him that? I get it.
You do get it. You are the messenger. You're kidding, of course.
I am not kidding.
I didn't see any teardrop. It was a straight drive to the basket.
It was a nice move. I'm going to give the kid credit. Whoa, you got credit for me.
On the subject of lineups, as the exhibition series continues, now DeMarcus Cousins will check in. Comes on for DeAndre Jordan. Gets a nice hand from crowd. DeAndre, very familiar with this court as a member of the LA Clippers. But on Tuesday night, United States will play China at Oracle in Oakland, and that'll be the first time that Kevin Durant makes an appearance since coming over to the Warriors, and there are still some tickets available. Big crowd here tonight, though.
Great crowd here at Staples.
Looks to be either a sellout or very close.
Nothing like summer hoops, especially when you've got the best in the business playing, representing your country. A lot of pride. Go. Out here on the floor here.
Joe Dung off with that corner shot. DeRozan of the Toronto Raptors in the starting lineup here tonight. Nice move by DeRozan as he goes glass.
Stopping under there by DeMar. Doing a good job of pump faking, using that escape dribble.
And Joe Jiwei is handling. He up top, played by Anthony. A little confusion on that screen. This is Joe Chi, who just checked in. He is slated to be the starting center, 24-second violation. Joe Chi, a second-round draft pick of the Houston Rockets. The feeling is he will remain in China this season.
And just looking at Joe Chi, he's going to have to put on weight before he comes over and plays in the NBA. But they're talking about the skill level of being able to be a pick and pop player once he does put on that weight.
Slow start here by the United States. Have not shot the ball well. He's 2 of 10 from the field. Tried a 1 for 7. DeRozan kept alive by Anthony. Cousins gets it back. Anthony for 3. So the bad shooting continues by both teams here at the start. A wild shot by Doug. And it's deflected out of bounds. That leads to a timeout. Just under 5 remaining in this first quarter.
USA Basketball on NBA TV is brought to you by Nike Basketball. Bring your game.
You can hear from Coach K and USA Basketball after tonight's game by tuning into NBA.com and the NBA app for live post-game press conferences following our NBA TV coverage. Kevin Durant has just checked in along with Klay Thompson. China in possession. They are 1 for 8 from the field to this point. Nice move right there. Zhao Jiwei, who's made it back from shoulder surgery, was the starting point guard last year for the national team coming off the bench here tonight. Kyrie Irving also coming on for the first time. Here's Thompson, did not shoot well the other night and hits on his first attempt from downtown.
Clay was out here an hour and a half before tip-off, working on that very shot. Catch and shoot on the cross-court pass. And Paul George is applying some serious perimeter pressure here to Team China.
Playing Zhou Jiwei and commits the foul. So Kyrie with his first.
Here's a skip pass from KD. Catch and shoot. Freezes a defender with that little stutter step. Knocks down the first three here for Team USA.
USA going with a 3-guard set as Paul George remains on the floor. Oh, pretty shot on a fadeaway by Zhou Jiwei.
How about the dance with the basketball there by Jiwei? Kind of lulling Kevin Durant to sleep here.
So the game is tied at 7. Nice backdoor pass. Durant getting it to Cousins. It counts in the foul.
The oldest play in the book, pick and roll. DeMarcus Cousins doing a good job using that body control from the delivery from Kevin Durant.
DeMarcus Cousins averaged 27 points a game for the Sacramento Kings during the season. 4th in the NBA, plus 11 rebounds among the leaders.
Just a nice move and body control here by Boogie Cousins. I've always loved his demeanor. I know a lot of people, critics, say they don't like the personality and can at times be a little bit demonstrative on the court towards his teammates and coaches. I like it. You know, show me a guy with passion and plays hard, gives you a double-double every night.
Well, there's no question about the talent.
Yes.
Cousins completes the 3-point play. Good defense here by Klay Thompson.
Good pressure
and
there
now
by
Cousins. The shot clock rolling down to 4. And the ball back to the United States. Zhou Qi lost it off his foot.
We talked about this USA team not being 100% in shape as they head to Rio. The only way you're going to get in game shape is at the defensive end. Nice three there by Kevin Durant. You got to pick up the ball. You got to get it done at the defensive end. The offense is easy for this team. Defensively, that's where this team is going to be challenged.
U.S. settling down. Only their 5th field goal. They're 5 for 15 following the slow start. Zhou getting it outside, and Zhou Qi, who likes to shoot the 3, not able to hit. That pass off the mark. Here comes Jimmy Butler, just checked in to Klay Thompson for 3. Rebounded by Cousins, and a foul. It's a non-shooting foul. It's on Zhou Jiwei. Durant, yes. Kevin Durant from downtown.
And he's going to what team starting next year, Marv?
You know how many open shots that team will have when you think of Durant, Curry, and Thompson, Green?
They say sometimes life's not fair. Well, it's pretty fair up there in the Bay Area. I mean, a team that's back-to-back NBA finalists, winning one of them, was up 3-1 when LeBron James and Kyrie Irving woke up and decided they were the 2 best players in the series. And now you get a former MVP in Kevin Durant joining that squad.
That was last touch by Kyrie Irving, who, as you can see, disagreed with the call. Just under 2 minutes left in this first quarter. Jiwei is a right back. This is Zhou Qi trying to get it inside. He has struggled here after coming off the bench. The ball back to the United States, and U.S. going with a 3-guard set with Butler, Irving, and Thompson. Durant and Cousins up front. 6th turnover committed by Team China.
I like the pressure here being applied here by Team China. This is something they worked on in practice yesterday when you and I were there. They're not afraid of the foot speed of Team USA.
Foul is on Jiwei. China now over the foul limit, as we mentioned. Player foul limit is 5 rather than 6, and team fouls are 5, which is similar to the NBA. And Kyrie Irving will head to the line at 88% free throw shooter during the regular season.
It was nice to have the Team China coaches come over. Head coach Gung Lu Ming and assistant coach Giannis Christopoulos come over and kind of break down their team's DNA. And he says, look, this is not like some of the Olympic teams from China before. We got to get better defensively. That's why we're going to up our pressure defensively, full court, and we got to become a better shooting team.
It's an 11-0 run here now by the United States. You mentioned Gung Lu Ming. He was an outstanding player in China for 9 years and been the national team coach for both men and women. Foul on the U.S.
Kyrie Irving caught down low, trying to box out. Picks up his first personal.
Here is E with an angle jumper for 3. E Jianlian making his 4th Olympic appearance. 2012 in London, he averaged 10 rebounds a game to lead the Olympics. Durant putting a move on to set it up for Butler for 3.
Collapse the defense with dribble penetration. Have shooters on the edges. Nice move there by Durant to find Butler in the short corner.
Jiwei not able to hit. The rebound is missed by E. And here's Thompson with the lead out. Butler for the U.S. to extend to a 23-10 advantage. 35 seconds to play in the first. And Team China takes a timeout. We'll be back to Staples in L.A. in a moment.
Early on in this first quarter, Kevin Durant leading Team USA 6 points and 3 assists in this first quarter. Splits the double team and finds a wide open Butler in that short 3 corner. And Marv, you and I were talking about, the weaponry that Golden State's going to have. Clay and Curry, Draymond Green. And now you add a former MVP. Well, what's the role going to be like for Kevin Durant on that team? I'm sure Steve Kerr will figure it out, but what a weapon to have. A guy that's 6'9", that can just about do whatever he wants on the floor.
And I think they will figure it out, sure. But it's a question of, will it be Durant bringing it up? Will it be Curry? Will it be Draymond Green, who we saw handle the ball so frequently the last couple of years? E, once again, shows the touch.
Back-to-back threes there by E. 6 quick points here.
Final seconds of the first quarter. Durant is fouled with just a few seconds remaining. I don't think the clock had moved. It's showing just 4.2 now. The foul is called on Zhou Qi. Came out and then cut in on Durant to make contact. Now Kyle Lowry will come on for Kyrie Irving.
And Marv, it needs to be said, everyone, they're somewhat divided with the Kevin Durant decision to go to, as they're calling it, a super team to Golden State, leaving OKC, a team that had the 5th best record in the association. Players have a right to go wherever they want. You know, people, they talk about loyalty, which I'm a big part of that, being 18 years in Indiana. I was critical of the decision for Durant. Not so much, it's a great business decision for him. I'm looking at it towards the fans in Oklahoma City. That's what I'm disappointed about, because he had laid a great foundation in OKC.
Lowry's called on that foul with just 2.3 remaining. And that is their 14th foul. Now, I would think that at points during the course of your career, there were possibilities for you to leave. Am I correct?
Once in '96, possibly going to New York, but did you see me in a New York uniform?
Yes.
No, you couldn't. Stop
No,
it,
I couldn't. I'm
Marv.
kidding.
Stop it, Marvelous.
As Draymond Green just checked in just prior to the buzzer. So the United States ends the quarter on a 19-6 run over the last 3.5 minutes, and following a slow start, they lead by 13 after one. And there's a man who has a new address, Derrick Rose, former Chicago Bull. And tremendous years in Chicago, and then obviously injury sent him back. Now a member of the new look New York Knicks. Second quarter is underway. Here's Thompson on a quick release. So Klay Thompson hits another three.
That's one guy you can't be late or slow in rotations. Didn't shoot the ball particularly well versus Argentina 2 nights ago. Starting to find his stroke here.
Just 1 of 8 from the field. Thompson beaten off the dribble by Zhou Peng, and it's called for the foul. Zhou Peng is the team captain for China. Played in the 2008 Olympics, and we're told will retire from national play after these Olympics. So Peng's headed to the line.
And if he looks familiar, played 4 games during the 2007 Vegas Summer League with the Chicago Bulls. So
you Bulls fans who caught those 4 games.
you never know. Summer
League.
League is hot now. It's the hot ticket.
It was 2007.
It wasn't hot back then?
No. But it is hot now.
It is hot.
Yeah. They did get big crowds in Las Vegas.
Yes. Where I believe Chicago won the championship with Denzel Valentine, the game winner in overtime.
Thompson again from downtown. And the U.S. pulling away to a 32-14 lead.
6 of 11 from downtown in this first half for Team USA.
Peng's pass broken up. It's a 3-on-2 developing for the United States. Durant fires for 3. And that pass broken up. Nice play made. Draymond Green with the hustle, able to get back to battle away from Ding Young-Hyu Han. Let's check in with Jared Greenberg. Jared.
Well, Marv, as you mentioned earlier in the broadcast, tickets are at a premium for Tuesday's game at Oracle, with Kevin Durant making his unofficial home debut on the Warriors' home court. You're getting a look at the Warriors' big 3 right now, and as we've learned earlier tonight, we can expect Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, and Kevin Durant to all start against China Tuesday night at Oracle, and we'll have the game for you on NBA TV.
That 3 way off. We are early second quarter and a 32-14 advantage of the United States. Draymond Green on the save, and he was able to deflect it off the body of Zhai Xiaoqian.
You know, we talked about at the start the versatility of this team as DeAndre Jordan, the true 7-footer coming in for Team USA. But before he came in, Draymond Green was playing center. You saw smaller where even though Kevin Durant at 6'9", 6'10", has that length, you're going to see a lot of those smaller lineups for Coach K in Rio.
Klay Thompson feeling at that time was off, and then Carmelo Anthony is called for the foul underneath, so the ball back to China. Friday night, China lost to Nigeria here in L.A. on their first exhibition game in the United States. They have The game coming up against the U.S. in Oakland on Tuesday, followed by 2 pre-Olympic exhibition games in Brazil, off against Australia and Lithuania. Off the break, it counts as a foul. Lowry on the assist from Jordan, and Kyle Lowry of the Raptors will go to the line looking for a three-point play.
DeAndre Jordan out here playing point center, comes up with the steal from the applied pressure by Draymond Green. Does a little fake and gets the ball to Lowry. The nice body control finish here.
And it was the point guard, Guo Ailuan, called for the foul. Lowry unable to complete the three-point play, and that is legal.
Yeah, they could have tipped that off there. When the ball is dangling around the rim, you can knock it off. It's not considered offensive basket interference.
That shot is deflected away from Jordan. Looked like he took a shot to the wrist.
So if you're going to beat Team USA or be in the game, you got to be able to make shots like that. When you have wide open opportunities to knock down threes, and we're talking about the better teams that Team USA is going to face, especially in pool play. You know, listening to Coach K, we talked about Serbia. They're big and physical. France, and you talked about their NBA lineup, Boris Diaw, Rudy Gobert, Tony Parker, and Australia.
Ding Yang Yuhang, who attempted that shot, committed the foul. Here's Draymond Green going to the left hand. And back comes Guo. Guo using the pick from Jolene. And that's an offensive foul. A charge called on Wang Jiling. Another 7-footer, one of several on the Team China roster.
But did you see the switching defensively by Team USA as Harrison Barnes checking in for Klay Thompson? It's that swarming defense, the smaller lineup. And check away DeAndre Jordan being able to switch everything on the perimeter here at the defensive end with Draymond Green coming up with that offensive charge.
Harrison Barnes, now a member of the Dallas Mavericks, after 4 years with Golden State, signed that 4-year, $94 million contract. Anthony facing up and shooting. Jordan with the foul. DeAndre Jordan following the missed tip by Barnes.
DeAndre Jordan, DeMarcus Cousins, they're going to have a field day on the offensive glass in Rio. I mean, who's going to put a body on those two guys? And, you know, listening to Coach K, you know, speak to us before the game, you know, they're not quite sure they've had a player, maybe Dwight Howard, that's being able to disrupt play at the offensive end and keep balls alive for the USA team, like Jordan and Cousins.
Foul was called on Draymond Green as he collided with Lee Gunn. 13 foul on the United States. Gunn will put it in play. For China, it is their 9th Olympic appearance and looking for their first ever medal. They did qualify for the Olympics by winning the FIBA Asia Championship, defeating the Philippines. This is E working against Barnes. Lost possession, able to recover, now forces with the shot clock running down, and the ball back to the U.S.
Great defensive effort there by Harrison Barnes. No help, one-on-one against the taller E, and did a great job of just using that lower body strength to force him into a tough shot. Carlisle has found his small forward for the future here in Harrison Barnes.
Here's Irving. Able to penetrate and then makes it home.
How many times did we see that in the NBA Finals from Kyrie Irving? Being able to use that high screen and roll, get into the teeth of the defense, take the contact, and still be able to finish.
11 unanswered by the U.S. and after the slow start, they're 14 of 30 from the field. Lee Gunn way off on that shot. And DeRozan, not able to control, stepped out of bounds, so the ball back to China. Timeout is taken by China. Just under 6 to go, first half, and the USA in a rout.
We're not getting the feed here.
We got one more. That is the Kiss Cam. Round of applause for the Kiss Cam.
Back at Staples in LA, it's a 40-14 lead for the United States, and similar to what took place in Las Vegas on Friday night against Argentina, although it ended up as a 37-point win for the U.S. They got off to a slow start, and then they were red hot.
Well, the USA got off to a slow start tonight, but defensively, they've been locked in. China is shooting 24%, only 5 of 21 from the field.
So China in possession. He looks to set the screen. This is Guo. He fires for 3.
And you got to tell me that's not Tony Parker-esque right there? That's not Tony Parker-esque. A little crossover step back.
Reggie, I'd let that point go. Oh, Irving on a crossover. And as Anthony makes his move, he took a shot from Lee Gung.
I'm rolling with Guo. You might not like the name, the Chinese Tony Parker, but the move right here that he put with the step back 3, I'm in his corner, Marvelous.
Before that shot by Guo, China went nearly 6 minutes without a field goal. Harrison Barnes try to put a spin on. Shot clock is down to 4. DeRozan finding Irving for 3. And that shot is short from Zhai. Ends up out of bounds, and the ball back to the United States. This is game 2 of 5-game pre-Olympic exhibition schedule for the U.S. They will play China again at Oracle Arena on Tuesday night. Oh, nice move by Jordan. DeAndre Jordan spinning his way.
DJ looking like a man amongst boys right there on that spin move in the paint area.
Here is Ian off the fake. Jordan called for the foul.
How about the quick move here? There's the pass from Kyrie Irving. And we don't see this a lot from DJ when he's in a Clipper uniform, but a nice use of the left hand and finish by Jordan.
2 shots for E. Jianlian. In China, E, an 8-time All-Star, 2-time Most Valuable Player in the Chinese Basketball Association Finals.
And Marv, you mentioned this at the top. You know, for NBA fans, 5 seasons in the association, 4 with different teams, Milwaukee, New Jersey, Washington, Dallas, but he's found a home going back home.
And a substitution, Zhou Peng checking back in for China, coming on for Zhai. The United States will open up the Olympics in Rio on Saturday evening, August the 6th, against China, followed by games against Venezuela, Australia, Serbia, and France. George on a step back. Rebounded by E. And this is Guo. Nice move by Guo. And that is pass picked off by Durant, who is fouled by E. That's number 3. on E and the 15th foul on China. Just under 4 remaining in the first half, and Kevin Durant will shoot 90% during the season from the line, third in the NBA. Steph Curry, the leader, at 91%. And you know all about Kevin's resume: 7-time All-Star, 2-time MVP. He's won 4 scoring titles and an Olympic gold medal.
And think about this. He has 31 games with Team USA where he's averaged 20 points, 6 rebounds, shooting 52% from the field. So it's one of those guys, when we talked about no LeBron, no Kobe, no CP3, if you're Coach K, you could kind of lean on a Kevin Durant who has that international experience.
G-Way finding E, and he's called for the travel. So the ball back to the U.S. Head coach of Team China, you talked about him earlier. Young Lu Ming, member of China's Olympic team in the '88 Olympics in Seoul. Nice pass inside, and Marcus Cousins with the step.
And another assist by Kevin Durant. Make that 4 here, which leads Team USA here in this first half.
Ji-Wei whips it over to E. He got the step and he's fouled. He was blocked by Durant, who does not like the call.
Durant gets his own miss and finds a wide open Boogie Cousins underneath the basket here. Talked about picking up his 4 assists. I'm assuming his assist totals are going to go up playing in the Bay Area, obviously with shooters like Clay and Steph. I think the points will come down, but if you're Steve Kerr, you know, Kevin Durant is a gifted and born scorer. So I don't know if you really want to kind of lessen that. You got to let him be aggressive. To me, he's the alpha dog on that team now. I mean, I know everyone's going to say the 2-time MVP, it should be Steph, but to me...
Don't you think that has to evolve? U.S. is over the limit, so...
It does.
He is at the line.
But you don't want it to become like an all-star game when everyone's deferring to one another because you don't want to step on each other's toes.
Don't you think that will happen at the start of the season?
In the beginning, it will, until roles are defined. And I think they'll struggle early. And by struggle, I mean lose only a couple games. Remember, they're coming off 73-9 season now. It's going to take some time to build that chemistry, especially at the offensive end. I'm not worried about them defensively, but at the offensive end, I love Klay Thompson's quote. You know, everyone's talking about, are there going to be enough balls? Yeah, we're playing with one ball, and we're going to put it in the basket. I like that. We're going to put the ball in the basket a lot. Great ball movement here by Team USA.
George not able to hit. Cousins right there again.
Already, that's 10 offensive rebounds for Team USA.
Plus 7 overall off the boards. Ji-Wei. Nice ball. We got the step. Zhao Ji-Wei back from injury. Starting point guard at one stretch for the national team. Come off the bench. He's played well. Plenty move there by George. Not able to hit the step back, and is rebounded by E for China. Just under 2 remaining in the first half. Marv Albert, Reggie Miller, Jared Greenberg from Staples in LA, and a foul is called on Lee Gunn. Trying to get it back from George. Lee Gunn has played with 4 different teams in the Chinese Basketball Association and a teammate of Stephon Marbury on the Beijing Ducks, who won several championships. A look at downtown Los Angeles. We're at Staples Center, the United States, with the 48-23 lead on China. The U.S. Olympic Committee has selected Los Angeles as the U.S. bid city to bring the Olympic and Paralympic Games back to America in 2024. Let's give our Team USA athletes an Olympic home field advantage in 2024. You can learn more and show your support at la24.org.
It was the best playing in front of our home fans in '96 in Atlanta. And I know our own Jared Greenberg is going to have an opportunity to talk with the Admiral David Robinson at halftime about his experience as Kevin Durant knocks down his third three in this first half.
Durant has 11 cousins, Durant 11 cousins with 13 points. Our stat monitor keeps shifting around.
Nice move and nice cut there as G-Wade with the nice back cut and lay-in.
As you mentioned, Hall of Famer David Robinson, three-time Olympian, will be here at halftime to talk with Jared.
Oh, what a move. Oh. See the versatility of the bigs on this Team USA. We saw DeAndre Jordan with a nice spin move, finish with the left. And then there's DeMarcus Cousins. Pretty much the same move.
Cousins has hit all 5 of his field goal attempts, and a foul is called on Cousins off the driving attempt by Zhou Yuchen, who just checked in following that last timeout. Zhou Yuchen, who goes 6'10", 262 pounds.
I like '96 Olympic team being well represented here in Staples. We talked about the Admiral David Robinson, another one of my Olympic teammates on that team is here. Hall of Famer Mitch Richmond to our left, sitting behind. So, you know, when Team USA assembles and gets together and has these exhibition games, it's good to see the former Olympians come out and support them.
And David Robinson, a member of the Dream Team in Barcelona back in 1992.
Well, that's
nice spin by Cousins, and he is fouled.
Marv, that's the ultimate team. When you're talking about the ultimate Olympic team, that '92 team, arguably the best of all time.
What we have here, Reggie, a part of, as you mentioned, the 1996 Atlanta Olympics.
Man, it was so much fun being on that team, hanging with Sir Charles and Shaq. You just saw Grant, Karl Malone, all these guys that I always used to trip and kick and hit and elbow. I'm serious. I used to do that to all those guys.
And you're doing the same thing here at the broadcast table, which is really annoying.
Oh, another one. GP. Look, everyone is here. GP, Mitch, David. This is great. This is great.
GP being Gary Payton.
Gary Payton.
Yes.
The glove one. Hall of Famer. We got to say that now. Hall of Famer Gary Payton.
United States went 8-0 to the gold medal. Now Draymond Green will check back in, and DeMarcus Cousins sits down. 12 points for Cousins. Durant, the high man, with 14. E leads Team China with 10. This is Zhou Qi. Zhou Qi, as we touched on earlier, a second-round pick of the Rockets. But he will probably stay in China, and a player who really needs to bulk up. He's 7'1", listed at 210. Timeout is Mike Krzyzewski and his United States Olympic team with the big lead. Final seconds of this first half. The U.S. has now won 17 consecutive games in the Olympics since losing to Argentina during the semifinals at the 2004 games in Athens. Irving comes across. Down to 2, down to 1 as he goes to the crossover and scores. And the The officials say it counts. He just did beat the buzzer.
I'm not quite sure there's another player in the NBA as gifted with the basketball than Kyrie Irving. Well, I mean, what a special move to finish that first half.
Somehow was able to get it off after he had gotten the step. So the United States outscores China 29-16 in the second quarter, and they have a 55-29 lead. Halftime at Staples coming up. Jared Greenberg will chat with Hall of Famer David Robinson.
And then Friday, Canada against the women's team at 7 p.m. Eastern, followed by Venezuela against the USA men's team. A 26-point advantage for the red, white, and blue today against China. We've got plenty more to do. Second half action right around the corner. Marv and Reggie right here on NBA TV when we return.
USA Basketball on NBA TV is brought to you by Samsung. And members get exclusive rates and experiences with Marriott Rewards, the official partner of USA Basketball.
I lost him.
First.
Win.
You are watching USA Basketball presented by Nike. It's the USA men's team versus China. And the United States with a 55-29 lead. Marv Albert along with Reggie Miller. Slow start for the U.S. They started 1 for 9 from the field, and they end up hitting 19 of the last 32 shots, close to 60% shooting. But I'm sure during the course of halftime they were talking about their defense, which really rose, particularly late first quarter.
Well, your offense is going to come and go. We know that in basketball. But if your defensive identity can stay the same, that's what you want. And we talked about the versatility of this team. Only really 2 bigs on this team, DeMarcus Cousins and DeAndre Jordan. So we talked about 9 guys ranging from 6'3" to 6'9". We're going to see a lot of switching, a lot of trapping, long arms, athletic, and that's what makes this Team USA basketball team so efficient. We talked about it not being the most talented team that Coach K has had, but certainly one of the most versatile teams.
Let's take a look at our game summary presented by Samsung. The U.S. for the first half, 20 of 41, 49% from the field, and China 9 for 26, just under 35% shooting. The high point man Kevin Durant with 14, 3 of 5, all 3 from downtown, and 5 of 5 at the line. And DeMarcus Cousins with 12 points, hitting all 5 of his shots. The one-time NBAer, Jianlian, high man for China with 10, but he's playing with 3 fouls. This is and rebounded by Jordan for the U.S.
And a little change here to start this second half. You got Harrison Barnes, Draymond Green, and Jimmy Butler in the starting lineup to start this third quarter.
And that pass off the mark, but broken up by Butler at center court. Here's Harrison Barnes for 3. And it carries over the backboard and out of bounds. United States with the win on Friday night in Vegas. They beat Argentina by 37 points. They will meet up with China again in Oakland at Oracle Arena on Tuesday night. And we're told the tickets are still available. That pass intended for E. So the ball back to the U.S. and they're able to break down court. Jordan.
I would not be surprised come in Rio that Draymond Green will be the leading assist person on this Team USA. Again, he was in the top 10 as Jordan almost comes up with a steal.
Once again, Green got his hand on it, but this time he also made contact, so the foul is called.
Just a little touch
that is
pass.
The second on Green.
From the two bigs, from Draymond Green to DeAndre Jordan.
A little fake there by Zhou Qi, rebounded by Jordan. So Zhou Qi starting the second half, did not start the game, and the foul is called on Qi. Basket won't count. Try to wrap up Butler.
And now the difference between the NBA and international rule, that would have been an and one in the NBA game. But the foul occurred right before Butler was getting ready to go up in that range of motion shooting.
So Butler will throw in. Return pass to Butler. Try to save it, could not. And China in possession. Zhao Jiwei, who played well in the first half, starting the second half, he came off the bench. Chi and Zhao Jiwei, rebounded by Green. Draymond going behind the back to protect. Then on a switch by E. Lowry gets inside. And Butler is fouled. He was held by Chi. That is his third foul. Jimmy Butler, 83% free throw shooter. Fifth year out of Marquette. Averaged 21 a game this past season with the Bulls.
2014-15 most improved player. And you mentioned the two-time All-Star. And there was a lot of talk about Jimmy Butler during this offseason. Possibly, we know Derrick Rose obviously traded to New York, but they were talking about Jimmy Butler as well. And now that him alongside Dwayne Wade, Fred Hoiberg has two wing players. Both can get it done at both ends of the floor.
This is Pung moving it outside. It was almost a discontinue by Zhou Qi. And then he flips one up with the shot clock running out, and on the air ball, possession back to the U.S. So a backcourt of Lowry and Butler with Green, Barnes, and Jordan up there. Here's Lowry splitting through and lost control.
Rare turnover for Team USA. That's only their their sixth turnover here in this ball game.
Qi chased outside by Jordan. A little mix up there, but it's recovered by Zhao. Shot clock at 1, and they're bailed out on that hack by Lowry. So Ding Yang-Yu Hung took the slap. He'll go to the line.
Now look at Team China here. Let's kind of revisit what they did in London. Obviously, they went 0-5 during the games. They lost every game by 16 plus points. They only averaged 63 points, which was last in the tournament, and only had 9 assists on average as a team, which was also last. And you fast forward, obviously they're playing a superior team in Team USA, but we're kind of seeing the same thing. They can't score. They're not a great shooting team. You talked about E. E did lead that London games in rebounding, 10 a game, but that's been the only highlight really for Team China.
Their last men's basketball win in the Olympics in Beijing, August 16th, 2008 against Germany. And then China lost in the quarterfinals.
So was Dirk on that Germany team then? Would you say 2000 what?
2008.
So Dirk probably was on that team.
Fact checkers get into that.
Yeah.
What were you saying yesterday at practice of this after a number of Team China players were mobbing you. They just went crazy to see you. But you said to me, this is a team that would look very well walking through the airport.
You look at Team China, because that's their one strength. They have size. They're tall. They're long.
But they can't shoot.
They can't shoot, and their foot speed isn't where it should be. So walking through an airport, you'd be like, that's an amazing basketball team because of their size. But once you see them play,
We're finished by Ding Young-Yu Han.
rare fast break point for China.
Barnes 4-3. It's tipped over to Butler. Kicks it back out. Lowry fires. Yes. Kyle Lowry. Two-time All-Star by way of the Toronto Raptors. Averaged 21 a game last season. How about the Raptors advancing to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in the history of the franchise? Nice touch. Joe Pung with the baseline jumper.
I was more impressed them winning those 2 games versus Cleveland in the conference finals after totally getting blown out in games 1 and 2.
Harrison Barnes got the step, and a travel is called. Good play by Butler as he closed in on Ji Wei, which forced the travel. And now E will take a seat, replaced by Zhou Yuchen. Played briefly in the first half. Just under 6 remaining in this third quarter, and a 62-36 lead for the United States. Ji Wei also sits down, and your favorite international point guard, Guo Ailuan, has just checked back in. And the foul is called. And apparently the ball was deflected out. So they have 17 on the shot clock.
Oh my goodness.
From the inbound is thrown by Lowry.
And that's the inexperience of Zhou Qi not being able to put a body on DeAndre Jordan at the defensive end.
Guo off the head fake, driving on Lowry, rejected by Jordan. Kept alive. Here's Guo with 3 on the shot clock. And the ball back to the United States.
I think people are going to find a better appreciation for DeAndre Jordan's game during these Rio games, because people just see him in a pick and roll throw to the rim, and obviously he was a first-team All-NBA player, but they're going to get a better appreciation playing with these great players for the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Draymond Green just picked up his 4th and 3rd team foul on the U.S.
Maybe Doc will run some plays actually for him next year instead of telling them to go get it off the glass.
Ding on the hop, finding Pung. Lowry with the save. Green reached in, tried to get to it. 3-point attempt is missed, and a foul is called. It's Pung battling for the rebound. And the foul is called on Joe Pung. That leads to a timeout with 4.5 to go. Third quarter. Back at Staples Center, Los Angeles, home of the Lakers and the Clippers. We have not received official word, but looks to be a sellout crowd for the United States and China. For the U.S., their second pre-Olympic exhibition game, coming off the win Friday night against Argentina. And we're up here 64-36. Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, DeMarcus Cousins, Kyle Irving all checking back in. And Irving will move it across. Guarded by Guo. Anthony, catch and shoot for three.
Struggled in that first half from beyond the arc. That's his second made
field goal for Carmelo. Now 2 of 7. He has 5 points, 6 rebounds. This is Pung. Try to get the step. Bad pass. And it's a 24-second violation. So 2 things occurring on that play, both bad. U.S. gets it down in a hurry. Thompson is open. 4-3.
John by Durant, recognizing that Team China had their backs to the basketball and just drove baseline and found Clay for a wide open 3.
This represents the biggest lead of the night for the United States.
Clay 4 of 6 from downtown here.
Irving with the steal. And Kyrie lost it. Guo reaching in for the steal. Here is Guo, met by Cousins. And Yu Chen missing on that open shot. Anthony, played by Ji-Wei, turns it over.
Back turnovers here for Team USA. With that 10 on the evening. A little sloppy play here.
And now China's head coach Gung Lu Ming takes a timeout. Back in a moment. Back in LA, let's take a look at tonight's play of the game presented by Kaiser Permanente.
And I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of these type of plays from DeAndre Jordan. Little touch pass here from Draymond Green in the finish by the high flyer DJ DeAndre Jordan. Again, I think people are going to really appreciate his game and talent when they see him with the rest of the elite athletes in the NBA the next 2 to 3 weeks.
4 successful alley-oops for DeAndre Jordan to this point. China in possession, just under 3 remaining in the third quarter. Ying Jianlian is back on the floor. Here's Guo, picked up on a switch by Durant. Shot clock is down to 3 and a blocking foul called on Carmelo Anthony. 4th team foul.
We talked about this being a somewhat of a sloppy start of the second half for Team USA. China's only shooting 30%. They only have 36 points. So defensively, Team USA is still dialed in.
Is it defensively or just a poor shooting team on the part of China as Anthony fires?
Probably both. You know, we know that the struggles of Team China. The competition obviously is going to get better for Team USA, especially in their pool. You know, according to Coach K, you know, once they get to Rio, he talked about Serbia, France, and Australia, 3 teams that they're really they have much respect for and heavy game planning for.
In a sloppy quarter, 7 turnovers committed by the U.S. Here's Cousins. That was rejected. And Thompson able to hit. Wang Jiling getting a piece of that shot attempted by Cousins. Jiling, played by Anthony. E defended by Cousins. Shot clock to 4. Good job by Cousins. E is the high scorer for China, but just 2 of 9 from the field. Thompson got the step. Thompson on the drive.
Just not a three-point shooter. His game really has evolved, putting the ball on the floor. One of the best two-way players in our NBA.
Another run here by the United States. 14 consecutive points. Open shot for E. Cousins with the rebound. Durant, Anthony, they whip it around. Irving on a nice move. Yes. Unset. Whoa, flying as he was faked out.
Great body control by Kyrie. Never really in a hurry.
Glow on the hop. It's broken up. And E way off. Got glass.
Well, to your point, I'll say it's bad shooting.
Irving wide open. And came up with air. Here's Glow to the trailer E, and he's hit by Durant.
And after that air ball by Kyrie, I liked seeing this. Carmelo Anthony, Kyrie was jogging back, and Melo telling him, get back in transition. See, this team is holding each other accountable very much the same way, you know, the previous Dream Teams looked at one another. It was those practices that were legendary for me in '96. I love the practices more than the games. Going against Mitch and the Glove, Gary Payton, Grant, you know, Scottie Pippen, guys that, you know, those wing players. And I like seeing that from Melo, who is the senior elder statesman on this team. Going to be playing in his 4th Olympic. So he has the right to kind of get on Kyrie a little bit. There's Mitch Richmond, the lock.
It's intriguing, Reggie, how Carmelo Anthony's role on this team is so much different than it has been as a New York Knick. He's the first to say that he does not lead vocally, but it's a different story here with the Olympians, because in the league, be it with the Denver Nuggets or the Knicks, because he was a big scorer, there would be respect. But he's not somebody who would necessarily point things out on a regular basis.
Well, I think we'll see a little bit more nice passing by Kyrie Irving. They're going to count that basket as the defender went through.
On to the 4th quarter, biggest lead of the night. United States up by 40. They outscored China 23-9 in the 3rd quarter. USA shooting 10 for 17 from the field. And China just 2 of 15.
I also think we'll see this lineup a lot too. A bigger lineup with Paul George handling the basketball, both Kyrie and Lowry on the bench for Team USA. You know, that's been one of the things that people said, not a true point guard like a Chris Paul on this team to facilitate and get everyone, but there's playmakers in DeMar DeRozan and Paul George for the respective teams. So, again, the versatility of Coach K and Coach Boeheim, Coach Thibodeau. How about Monty Williams back on the bench? What a great story that is. Obviously, the tragedy that happened as an assistant coach at OKC.
Yeah, he was alongside Billy Donovan with the Thunder, then stepped aside after Monty's wife Ingrid was killed in that horrific car crash that was last February, and 3 of Monty's 5 children were injured in the crash, but they survived, fortunately, and Monty left Oklahoma City to be with his family, but now he's back on the sidelines for the Olympics. Jiwei putting moves on Cousins. Shot clock running down, and he fires one up and over the head off glass. Zhao Jiwei, he's only 20 years old, made it back from a shoulder injury. He's played well here tonight. And the foul is called with George handling up top. It is on Jiwei.
This is the 3rd time. He's gotten Kevin Durant twice, and Jiwei with a little pump fake gets Cuz up in the air. Nice little kiss off the glass.
Good ball movement. Here's DeRozan back on the floor. Able to go baseline. Talking a moment ago about Paul George handling the ball as he did the other night, but has done it even more so here. tonight. That's last touch by the United States, but because Mike Krzyzewski is looking for more ball handlers, we'll see at least during the pre-Olympic exhibition play, we'll see more from Draymond Green handling, who is certainly accustomed to it because of the way he was able to do it with the Golden State Warriors. Kevin Durant is another guy who can handle the ball. China looking for a goaltend, will not get that call on the move by Wang Jiling. Anthony on the foul.
So this is in the first half. I would not be surprised if Green leads this team in assists, along with Paul George being up there, because you've got to allow Kyle Lowry and Kyrie Irving to be who they are. Both of those guys are really scoring point guards. You know, that's not Kyrie's job in Cleveland. That's LeBron James is really the facilitator. So I would not be surprised if George and Green, if their assists are up in Rio, because that's their natural tendency is to get guys going.
Now DeRozan, another player who can handle, moves it across off the pressure, finding it open. Durant, yes, Kevin Durant from downtown. And that is his fourth three. All four of his field goals have been from beyond that three-point stripe. Durant with 17 points. He's the high man once again for the U.S. Cousins handles that rebound off the miss by Jiwei. Durant, Anthony has the mismatch on Guo. Spins in, finds DeRozan, and he hits.
Nice unselfish play. Anthony recognized he had the smaller Guo on him. Collapsed the defense with the spin move. DeRozan just found the wide open shot in the corner.
Nice pass, but she not able to finish. Anthony open for three. George trying to keep it alive. This is Guo with Anthony back. Comes back to Guo. Nice move. Guo Iwan. The U.S. right back. Kevin Durant on the fast break. (89-43). United States on top as we come up on 7 minutes remaining of the game. Joe Chi way off, and here they come. DeRozan this time is stopped as Guo called for the foul. That's his third.
Look at this quick spin move here by Melo. Look at all the red jerseys around him. Nice find to DeRozan. Wide open three. Team USA 11 of 27 from downtown, 41%.
Which is an improvement from the other night against Argentina. And now Coach K with substitutions. Draymond Green, Jimmy Butler, Harrison Barnes. Come on. And off the steal. George tried to take it back. They double up and a foul is called. George wrapping up Joe Pung and picks up the foul. So Reggie with this unit will see Green and George and DeRozan doing a lot of ball handling. That's what the U.S. coaching staff would like to see take place.
Look at the length on the corner. That is pretty good defense there. Initially started with Paul George. Just being a ball hawk here and causing this China team into bad decisions. 24-second violation.
Here's DeRozan at the other end. He scores. Yes, and it counts. And he will head to the line. Foul on Guo. Paul George, an 86% free throw shooter. Last season with the Indiana Pacers, making it back strong from that broken right leg that he suffered back in 2014 while competing for a roster spot on the U.S. national team for the FIBA World Cup. And his return the other night was very emotional. He played well for Argentina, but he was just so happy to be back on the court with memories of that injury that was suffered that kept him out for more than a season. But he has bounced back dramatically.
And I like the comments he made to our own Steve Ashburner, talking about it's time for me to open up a new chapter. DeRozan there with a nice smooth scoop. You know, he doesn't. Paul George doesn't want people to focus in on the leg injury. It happened. It's been more than 2 years. He felt that he's been back. He's been an All-Star, third team All-NBA. You know, he's felt that he has turned the page, but people kind of want to keep bringing it up because of what happened 2 years ago in Vegas in that first exhibition game, and rightfully so.
But it's natural.
It's natural, but he wants to move on from that point.
E was fouled as we head to break. Timeout taken. 5:45 to go in the fourth. All right, Rich, let's take a look at tonight's stat of the game presented by Nike.
Well, look at the, we talked about in the London games, Team China was last in assists at 9. Tonight only 6 assists and 4 steals, but 27 assists and 9 steals. Ball movement and that defensive identity that Coach K has been clamoring for. Obviously, it's only 2 exhibition games in, but they want to be successful and bring home the gold. You're going to have that ball movement and defensive identity.
And as he makes his move, he draws contact. It's on Butler. E to the line. 6 for 6 at the line.
And Marv, we talked with Coach K. You talk about who's in Team USA pool, but what about the other pool too? Spain, well coached, Pau Gasol, Ricky Rubio, guys that have tested this Team USA team, as well as Lithuania. They have size. 3 or 4 guys that, body-wise, Valanciunas, Sabonis.
And on the international level, players rise,
sure,
as we've seen.
Yes.
Not necessarily here tonight. And we're talking about one of the weaker teams in China. The United States will open up against China in Rio. Off, and that is deflected out of bounds. Apparently, one of the U.S. players hanging on the rim. So the ball back to China.
But clearly, it's gold medal or bust for Team USA. I mean, they've got the best talent, 1 through 12. But it's going to be interesting, when they do face a France, Lithuania, Spain, if they, advance past that. Those players aren't scared of these guys. They see them on an everyday basis in the NBA. The fear factor really stopped, I would say, after 2000.
Well, U.S. did not win a gold in 2004. Here is DeRozan with the shot. Beautiful move by DeMar DeRozan. United States opens the Olympics in Rio Saturday night, August 6th, against China, followed by games against Venezuela and Australia. Australia will be tough. And Serbia and France, which will lead to the quarterfinals, is able to finish.
And I look back at Draymond Green. Aren't you one of the best defensive players in the game? Gotta be careful saying that. You don't want Draymond to wake up here.
E now with 16 points, although he has shot just 3 for 13 for the field. Nice little split through by DeRozan. 15 fouls has been called on China.
Look at the glare back.
So they're over the foul limit, and George to the line. Another difference here tonight at the 3-point line, 11 of 28 for the United States, as opposed So shooting just 34% from three Friday night against Argentina. So they're right about at the 40% mark, shooting threes and a host of open threes.
It's been interesting. You know, there's a rule change in international basketball that I hope Adam Silver and the committee kind of looks at, that we've been seeing. On offensive rebounds, the shot clock resets to 14 as opposed to 24. You know, speeds up the game. You know, I hope that's something that our committee kind of takes a look at. Our game is always on the cutting edge of trying things new. I just think that would kind of speed up our game a little bit, as opposed to it resetting to 24. Take it to 14.
Yeah, I like that also. It not that it's going to happen that frequently, but
right.
It certainly,
in close games down the stretch, instead of teams trying to, you know, if they get an offensive rebound, you know, play the clock out, you know, they potentially have to take a shot.
Jordan on the foul of Wang Jialing. And that puts the United States over the limit. Jialing, a second-round pick of the Memphis Grizzlies, and deciding whether to stay in China, try to make it to the NBA. And I think you can say this about many of the players on the Team China roster. Foot speed is the question.
Yes.
With Jialing,
yes.
But does have skills around the basket. He is 7 foot, 265 pounds. Missing on both, and then it's deflected out. Last touch by Butler.
Yeah, if I'm looking at this Team China as a whole, you know, I talked about their strengths, we talked about their size and length, but their weaknesses, foot speed and shooting. It's a terrible shooting team, and the more quicker teams, as we saw tonight with Team USA, they're kind of flat-footed a lot. Nice defensive strip there by Jimmy Butler on E.
And Butler called for the travel. So he ends up with the traveling violation on a move that he is usually able to make against the opposition.
You'll see that call a lot in international play, because as NBA players, we take it for granted because they really don't call traveling that much in the NBA game. But these international officials, it's 2 steps. If you take that half step, they're calling it.
Joe Pung handling well, not able to hit, and Jordan could not hold on. Joe Pung, the team captain, played in the 2008 Olympics. 6-time champion in the Chinese Basketball League. We're down to 3:20 to go in the game, and a 99-47 lead for the U.S. Jialing, shot clock running down to 3. Jialing just firing one up, and it's another 24-second violation called against Team China. China has traditionally been the best basketball team in Asia, winning the FIBA Asia Championship 14 out of 16 times. However, they have struggled against all the top-flight non-Asian teams. Back in 2004, though, in Athens, coached by Del Harris, China did advance to the Final 8 after a 1-point win over the defending world champion Serbia. This followed by some success due to the presence of Yao Ming. Barnes Harrison Barnes with a nice move. That's his second field goal. He has 4 points.
Nice crossover. I think this is going to be a new lease for Harrison Barnes in Dallas as well. I think Rick Carlisle has his small forward of the future. You know, obviously a champion with the Warriors.
And a 3, nice touch by Ji Wei. Ji Wei has 14 points. He's 6 for 10, which looks out of character in the China box score off the turnover. Thompson is right to. Foul is called on Zhou Qi. And for Qi, it's number 5, so he will depart. Player foul limit is 5 rather than 6 in FIBA play. And you know, technicals are considered personal fouls.
Yes.
You can have combination, which adds up to 5.
What if they added that to the NBA? Guys would be in a lot of trouble.
Yes.
Boogie Cousins,
Well,
Draymond
maybe.
Green. Think about that.
Perhaps they'd be more careful.
Yes.
Well, the limit is 5 because it's a shorter game by 8 minutes.
Right.
So Klay Thompson at the line. And you look at the minutes distributed by the coaching staff tonight, similar to what took place against Argentina on Friday night. Everybody getting a shot. Carmelo Anthony with 18 minutes and 18 apiece for Cousins and Durant, 17 for DeRozan, but that rotation will shrink toward the end of the exhibition schedule.
Again, rounding themselves into shape. We have 3 more exhibition games after this one. Up in the Bay Area, Chicago and Houston before they head to Brazil.
A 3-pointer for Joe Pung. Just under 2 minutes remaining of the game. Thompson for 3. Paul's rejected. DeAndre Jordan with the block. That's his 3rd rejection of the game. USA Basketball has partnered with the Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors, TAPS, to host more than 350 TAPS youth participants and their families at events this summer. Now, the partnership between USA Basketball and TAPS honors and supports our nation's military and families through the Hoops for Troops program. Minute and a half remaining in this 4th quarter. Deflected out by Kyle Lowry. Kevin Durant, the high point man for the United States with 19, 5 from 7 shooting, 4 have been from downtown. Klay Thompson with 17, so turning it from the 1 for 8 the other night against Argentina. G-Way. And it's stolen by Lowry. Lowry pulls it back. Jordan takes pass. It counts on the foul. Beautiful pass by DeAndre Jordan to Harrison Barnes, who will head to the line.
And this is the type of unselfishness that you're going to see from this team, USA. Lowry had a wide open layup here on the steal. Gave it to DeAndre Jordan, who had a dunk, but recognized that Barnes was trailing in. And we talked about this team at such short notice, trying to find that chemistry, that camaraderie. And it's starting to kind of come about here on its own in these exhibition games.
Nice stat line for DeAndre Jordan. That was his 2nd assist, along with 5 rebounds, 4 block shots, and a foul is called. It is on. It's on Barnes. With a minute to play, so Lee Gunn at the line. Lee Gunn has played with 4 different teams in the Chinese Basketball Association. Teamed up with Stephon Marbury on the Beijing Ducks, and they won multiple championships in China. Tune in to Game Time right here on NBA TV for complete post-game coverage of USA basketball and China tonight at 10 p.m. with Rick Kappa and Sam Mitchell on NBA TV. Jordan and counts of the foul.
Jordan was waiting for the contact by E to come over. That's twice we've seen Jordan finish with that left hand around the hoop.
He's had his difficulties at the line. Comes up with an air ball.
Now I wonder if he's going to have to worry about Hacker Jordan, the international style. No, teams won't Hacker Jordan.
42% career free throw shooter, and for some reason China has taken a timeout. They love these timeouts in the final seconds of quarters. Well, we have 49 seconds to go. Back in a moment.
USA Basketball on NBA TV is brought to you by Jeep, official vehicles of summer, and by Cisco, proud technology partner of USA Basketball.
Team China head coach Youngwoo Ming taking what would be called a clinical timeout with 49 seconds remaining.
That's kind of like a Greg Popovich timeout right there.
Broken up by Jordan. Thompson with the alley-oop. Intended for Jordan. And deflected out of bounds. Last touched by China. Lowry setting up the play. 19 on the shot clock. Thompson on a step back three. Jordan with the rebound and lost it. Recovered by Lowry. There's Draymond Green trying to get it to Jordan. And the E able to hand off to Jiwei. E, yes. He's the high point man with 18 to lead China. We're final seconds. 106-57 victory for the United States. They led by as many as 54 coming off a 37-point win against Argentina. So they go 2-0 in pre